My dear friends, welcome again. As we are close to Black Friday, next week is Black Friday. In the moment you watch this video, I thought that it was time to reply to some of the questions I received. So, what I'm suggesting as a gear to use, not breaking the bank, I'm focusing on high banks for the bucks, but in any case, not really expensive devices, something very cheap, I would say, but which can give you great satisfaction even if you're not a professional that needs really the top quality for your job. So follow me so for this new format that if you appreciate it, I can repeat it again. Here we go again, as I anticipated. With this week, I would like to start an additional format. Many of you have been asking me, and the most common question are, what are you suggesting for a beginner? I want to start learning guitar, and I have to say that I'm close to that because I started right before the lockdown to do that, to try and learn playing guitar. Uh, what are you suggesting for a gig? I don't want to break the bank, but I want to be able to play in small clubs or something like that. And the third question is, I want to have the best possible quality and feeling when I play at home in my home studio, and I would like your suggestion for that. So I'm here to reply to these questions. So follow me because in a moment I'm going to show you some devices. In the meantime, you see on the screen what I currently have. Is not everything, but I will use this picture to show you what I'm using and what I'm suggesting. And everything I'm suggesting is something that I tested in depth. So I'm giving you, it's not a review, but in any case, what I'm giving you as a proposal for your playing in different situations is something that I have touched with my hand, tested extensively for a long time. So I'm no, in simple words, I'm not telling you that I heard that this device is good. I test that device, and in my opinion, it's very good. But important thing to keep in mind. Everything you're gonna see from now on is my personal opinion, my preference. So please don't complain if maybe you touch something you say, ah, well, I really don't like this device. It's totally okay if you feel like that, because again, this is my personal opinion. This is my gear, and that's something that I liked, I use every day, and I appreciate it a lot. So you can give you my suggestion is always use this if you want as a guideline and something that if you appreciate what I'm telling, what I've been saying in other tutorials, but in every situation may touch everything, test everything, because for example, even if I'm suggesting a guitar must feel very good on your body, on your for what you are gonna play, and so on. So what I'm suggesting maybe is totally wrong for your purpose. So make sure that you can test whatever you purchase. So my suggestion again is something that I will, in the conclusion, I will give you some suggestion about that. So for the moment, let's go on with the first step. So let's start. As I said, you will see three categories in this a gear for the beginner, a gear for a light gig in a small club, and a gear for studio. So let me switch the to my desktop so I can show you with some design what I'm suggesting. So let's start from the beginning. By the way, these slides will be available in a link in the description. So if you want to take time to have a look at all the details, please feel free. I wanted to categorize what I'm suggesting for different in different with different indicators. You see that I place some pictures. I'm telling you what device, the type, so the device I'm suggesting, what is the product I'm suggesting, how much is the street price I found recently. Okay, this is focused on November 2024, third quarter of 2024. If you see this video later or so, these prices can be totally wrong. So don't take them for granted. I'm not telling you that this is the price you're going to pay. Just make sure. Then also what I paid for that device, because maybe it's important, it can be helpful for you to understand if there are some sales every now and then that you can take leverage, especially considering that we are deeply in Black Friday week. so it is totally good if you can do that. This is the beginner gear I'm suggesting. That is composed by, as a guitar, Harley Benton ST72. That is this guitar here. Let me show you this one. I have the gray version. You see that? You have been looking at it in many of my videos. So it is still with me after a couple of years. I paid it something less than the street price because I purchased it during Thomann 25th, Thomann Harley Benton 25th anniversary. And I'm expecting that something similar can be on sale with the Cyber Week on Thomann. So keep your ears ready for that. In my opinion, it's very well made, considering especially the price. It's a telestyle. The neck is not exactly what you are expecting from a telestyle device, telestyle guitar, as it is. The fretboard is more flat and so on, but personally I liked a lot. The neck is very good considering that it is a caramelized, as they name it, caramelized maple. That is varnished but very very lightweight, so it's not sticky with your hands. It's great, great first guitar and a great first Telecaster style guitar if you are looking into that. For me, it was not the first guitar, but I was interested in purchasing something similar to a Telecaster. I took it as an experiment, and honestly, it is still with me. So it's a couple of years has passed, so you can imagine that I really appreciated it. Then, as an amplifier, you may remember that I own the what can I tell you? I own the NUX Mighty Air. There are a lot of videos in the channel about that. But here, what I'm suggesting you is the NUX Mighty Light Bluetooth Mark II. That is a little less expensive because currently the Mighty Air is still costing 169 euros. Again, even for that, there are sales. I purchased it on Thomann website during Cyber Week, like the one that is starting today, for 129 3 years ago. So the street price is still the same, but I'm expecting that some sales can happen. But the Mark II, it doesn't have the wireless connection because the Air also includes the wireless transmitter and receiver integrated. It has a battery built in that is not included in the Mighty Light, but for the effects they can produce, they are almost identical. Mighty Light is less powerful, so it's less loud compared to the Air, but in my opinion it has a little more basses because the speaker is slightly bigger, even if it is one alone. The Air is also stereo. And a great thing, you can in any case insert batteries, including rechargeable ones, so you can use it in totally portable situation. It has more the same effects of the Air, so you can use not exactly the same presets, but in the channel there are some suggestions for where to find presets also for this one. It is working with Mighty Ramp. That is the most important thing that you may remember. It's the application developed by Tuntori that I have been describing that is really unleashing the power of these devices, of these NUX devices. It is really lightweight, very small, can fit your guitar bag, generally speaking. Is very inexpensive because you can see that it is half the price of the Air. It doesn't have wireless, it doesn't have a built-in battery, but it can work very well. So it also includes a tuner that in the Air is not included. So it's up to you. If this was available when I purchased the Air, I would have been in doubt because this price is really great. Consider that we are speaking of the best way to spend your money for a beginner, even somebody that maybe is not so sure that will go on with learning guitar. That's why I suggested a guitar with the stop tail bridge, not tremolo. This way it will stay in tune easier. It's less expensive. It's lighter because this guitar is less heavy than other guitars of higher quality. higher price, I would say. But it is important that it is possible to play with effects. For beginners, this is it's something that everybody focus on that. You have a lot of effects at disposal with the Bluetooth, including the fact that you can save them on your device using Mightier Amp on your smartphone and change hundreds of those ones. And something I didn't want to renounce was the availability of the possibility to control it with the tab pedal. That's why I place the chocolate that is working very well together with these devices. If you are using the sorry, there is some. Can you hear me again? Oh yeah, there is something wrong in my opinion. Oh yes, okay. And you can see the price also for that pedal is very simple. It's wireless, so all this gear can fit a normal guitar, electric guitar gig bag if it has a couple of external bags. So you can fit your guitar, your amplifier, a cable, of course, if necessary in this case, and a pedal that you can use totally wireless to get connected with your smartphone. And that is great in my opinion because you can bring it wherever you want. It takes not much room in your bedroom or something like that, and you see that the total price is less than 300 euros currently, much less than 300 euros, and you can, if you take some sales, you can really go close to 200 or something slightly more. That is, in my opinion, a great possibility. So this is why I chose this combination for beginner. And again, I that is totally my vote because consider that even if you're not a beginner, this is working great. I'm still using the new X Mighty Air because it's the most portable device amplifier I have. I'm still using the TX62 because it is the ST62. Oh, sorry, there is a mistake in here because it's not the ST62, it's the TE62. Sorry. Well, it's live, so you can see that. I'm still using the T62. I'm still using the NUX Mighty Air. I don't have the Mighty Light. I'm still using the Chocolate. I also purchased the Plus version, and you will see some videos in the next weeks because I'm playing with it. It has some new possibilities. You may remember that also the NUX Mighty, the pedal board, the Mavet Chocolate can be combined with an expression pedal, and it is working wirelessly and battery powered even in that situation. So it is a great combination that you can bring wherever you want, can fit a simple bag so you are not leaving devices all around your room, and that's fine. Let's go on with the second category, that's the gear I'm suggesting for shows. I mean, this one is focused on what can happen during live. Of course, here I'm not spending time telling you need to bring with you additional cables, replacement strings or something like that because it's the basics for that. But in any case, what I'm suggesting is two guitars because you always need a backup, an amplifier powerful enough to be strong, to be heard very well, even if you are a drummer that is not so loud but quite loud. A pedal to a very sturdy pedal to the pedal board that you can control, and that's all. With this gear that is very lightweight, can fit any car trunk, or so you can gig with a great satisfaction. And again, even this combination is below 1,000 euros with two guitars, not only one. You maybe say you always suggesting Harley Benton guitars. Yes, I was a victim of many reviews you can find online. Everybody is speaking very well of these guitars. Honestly, there are some lights and shadows. But the point is that they are distributed only by Thomann, that is a very big shop in Germany that recently cheers because they reached the 17th year of activity. They are distributing with a great support, especially if you are in Europe, but even in US it's working because they are delivering with with care even there, and they are supporting the customers. They are providing you 30 days to return the device, so you can bring it, test it. And by the way, now they deleted it, but at the beginning, a couple of years ago, they used to have a disclaimer on their website where they say that they were totally fine if you as purchased the two guitars and decided to keep only one, because they know that you want to play to find out the right version. So they are focused on delivery very short, very quickly. In Europe, it takes just a week to receive the products, and you can return them without a problem. By the way, I can tell you that I purchased a lot of things, and many of them were not so good in the end. I returned them, no complaint, no questions asked ever. So for me, are really top at the top. Okay, what I'm suggesting as guitars, my first for gig, but it depends on the genre. As I'm playing generally hard rock or something like that, I prefer this one, double humbucker. That is the Harley Benton CST24T. That is also has a tremolo bridge. The price at the moment of this video was 285 euros. I paid it more. You may be surprised. What I'm referring to is, and that is why I told you that there are some lights and shadows. The price I paid was 259 4 years ago when I purchased this guitar, but I returned the first one because the neck was glued not perfectly straight. Just to give you my experience. Thomann didn't complain in any case. In a week, they replaced the guitar. I took the second one. I was quite happy about that, but I was so astonished by its look because I'm speaking of this one. Sorry, you can see how beautiful this guitar is. It's definitely a PRS clone, but it is a great guitar with semi-transparent finish where you can see the the wood, the fretboard is very good. So not really a great bang for the bucks, and even the pickups are not so bad in my opinion. Even if many people are complaining about Roswell pickups that this guitar is sporting. But what is the drawback? The one I received had some issues with the frets. I needed to refret all the fretboard. I didn't discover it when I received the guitar. Otherwise, I would have returned even that one. It's possible that there are some samples that are not so good, so I spent more. Am I still happy about the device? Oh, yes, especially considering that and when I purchased it, I was really into PRS guitars, and you can definitely tell it because you see that there is another one in the front. Uh, it is still beautiful. It's a little heavy because that guitar is 4 kilograms, something more, so it's not so light. PRS are lighter. But in any case, it's good. It plays very well after a good luthier review setup. That is always recommended for any guitar. But it is quite visually it's great on the during shows. It looks great. It is sexy. It's good. The tremolo is working very well. I thought it stays in tune great. I graded it also with locking tuners because I'm using somehow the tremolo, but it is very good in my opinion. Okay, that is my suggestion for quite heavy genre. Again, it depends on your genre, but it also is not bad for blues and other things like that. Then you need a replacement guitar. That is again the Harley Benton TE62 I suggested in the previous slide because I think it's a great replacement. It's sturdy. It's so inexpensive that you can bring it with you wherever you want. It's a completely different device. Why? Because can be a replacement. It can play something similar to what you play with the double humbucker, because Telecasters are very good on this. And in any case, it's so different. If you need to play something with a single coil, this combination covers a lot of possibilities, even if you are not using them one as a full replacement of the other one. Then, what I'm suggesting for the amplifier, my suggestion is still on the I would say the ignorance Boss Katana 100. The 100, I'm suggesting that one. It plays, in my opinion, the sound is much better, much fuller compared with the 50. Not for the power, because in my opinion, if you are playing in a club where you can be heard well by the 100, you should be heard well also by the 50, because you know that power, electrical power, is not exactly the same as loudness power. So the distance is shorter than it can appear. It's not twice as loud as the 50, in simple words. So don't look at that. They are working well. And honestly, I use this other players, with drummers or so, and I never used it in small clubs more than half the way through. So honestly, it's more than enough. But it plays better than the 50. That's why I'm suggesting it. It has more controls, more memories that are very helpful in this case, and especially it is working very well with its special with its custom pedal board, that is the GA FCEX. That is the one I'm using, so I'm referring to this one, because this is very sturdy, totally metal, very strong, very solid when placed on the floor. With this, you have no troubles, even if you are tripping into it, or somebody is leaving something onto it during preparation for sure, so it's not gonna get damaged. It is connected simply with a regular TRS cable, so it's very easy to connect it to the amplifier. The amplifier has a lot of effects built in, so you don't really need to bring with you any other pedals to have big pedal boards that are heavy, difficult to connect to power on and so on. The pedal board doesn't even need a separate power. It is powered by the amplifier itself. So in my opinion, it's a great combination. And to this pedal board, you can also connect directly an expression pedal for volume, or use it as a wah or something like that. So this combination allows you to do everything in a gig, and it is loud enough to do it. It's not probably the best result in sound that you can obtain. I'm still suggesting you the Mark II version. Why? Because you can find it second-hand at a very interesting price. Now it is available also the Generation 3 of Boss Katana, but it costs 500 euros. I purchased this one for 280. That is half the price. So honestly, the difference can be heard. There is a little difference between the Generation 3 and Mark II, but for this, in a gig, there is a drummer, there is a bass, and think. Don't believe that anybody in the audience can distinguish if you are using the version 2 or the Generation 3 of the amplifier. So, as I'm suggesting, the best purchase for your money, I think that the Mark II is now a total winner. So this combination, you see two guitars, one 100 watts amplifier including effects. It's a specific pedal board that again I was able to find used at half the price. I'm suggesting you to purchase second hands this device, because there are a lots of the samples out there that are sold together, amplifier and pedal board together, so you have the full package in a single shot. You see that the total price is less than 1000 with this price, with the street price. I paid even less, so you can find great possibilities. The prices again are in euros, because I'm living in Europe and I'm giving you that, but in US also you can find even better bargains than these ones. So, without leaving time in between, let's go to the third step. That is the gear I'm suggesting for home studio. This is focused better on the possibility to create very peculiar effects to have sound that is difficult to reproduce with, for example, the Boss Katana or something like that. But what you have seen before can work for everything. And I believe that for really 99% of users like myself that just like to play, that combination is enough for everything. You can play any genre, from country, blues, jazz, rock, heavy metal with those two guitars. I mean, with this combination, you have an amplifier including all the pedal effects you can desire: delay, reverb, distortion, and the wah and so on. You control it by foot, and you can even record from this one. So really, it is can be the definitive combination for the enthusiast, for not for somebody that is not a professional, for our hobby. And it also takes not so much room because you can put the amplifier below your desk, the two guitars on a rack, and you're fine. If you want that step forward, not really necessary. That's what I'm using because I really like to play and to hear the real tube amps sound. I also have this kind of combination. That is the combination of my personal favorite guitar, that is a PRS. This one you can see here. This is a PRS SE, so it is the really inexpensive version because honestly, the core version made in USA cost really too much. And this one is good enough for, I would say, more or less everybody. Would I suggest this one as the only guitar? For many uses, probably yes. uh, I still like to have the other two guitars I've shown you, and I have something else, but especially for the T62, so for the Telecaster style, because they are really different. So there is something to switch. There is a reason to switch between those two. Then, if you really want to play with effects, with the change, you want to record in a specific way, I'm suggesting a pedal board, a digital pedal board in this one. Again, to spend in a good way your money and not to have the need to use a lot of pedals. For a really satisfying home studio, probably it would be better to have discrete pedals so you can take the best for everyone, for every part. But it is, of course, really expensive. This can be really a good combination. Consider that what I'm suggesting you is the new XMG30. You have seen me using it in the channel a couple of times. Why I'm suggesting this one? You know that I am a favorite also of the Valeton. I tried the Quad Cortex. I tried some campers and they are better. I have to tell you, if you listen at the single effects, especially reverb and delay, they are better. But this one is good enough. It's small, is not doesn't take a lot of room in your house. It has a lot of effects, a good display, can be connected to your computer. It can record at 48 kilohertz, 32 bits, so it is very detailed when you are recording. It works very well with the four cables method. There is a video in the channel, I can give you the link below, where you can see me using this gear with the four cables method, so that you can have pre and post effects on the real tube amplifier. The amplifier I'm suggesting you is the Harley Benton Tube 15. Is it the best one? Probably not, because there are tube amplifiers out there that are great, and you can feel the difference, especially considering the speaker included, because this one includes a Celestion speaker, but is the less expensive one, the 7080. If you put a greenback in here, you would hear a total difference. but it cost 259 euros. That is the street price currently on Thomann website. You have the Thomann assistance replacement and so on. I purchased it B-stock. It was perfect. What I received, it was simply returned because B-stock only mean that it was returned by somebody, and it is really really good, because you really feel it is a tube amplifier, and it also has an effect loop, so send and return, so you can use it with your pedal board, with that. Also, your pedal board must have a send and return with the four cables method. This way, what I'm doing is using the pedal board for pre-effects. I'm using the real preamp of the amplifier so that I can hear the real tube sound. Then post effects, and again the amplifier is the power section of the tube amplifier. So when I cranked it up, it is possible to hear the distortion produced by tubes. I honestly love it. If you play on the edge of breakup for blues or something like that, you can really feel the difference. Can this work for the previous combination for the gigs in small clubs? Oh yeah, because this one is a tube amplifier. That okay, don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you that a 15 watts like this one tube amplifier is strong like a 100 watts digital amplifier like the Boss Katana. Somebody will tell that that's not true. 100 watts are 100 watts, 15 watts are 15 watts. So they must be compared the same. But the loudness, as I said, the electrical power and the loudness are not exactly the same. A 15 watts amplifier is more or less half the volume, can produce more or less half the volume of a real 100 watts amplifier. Also, consider that it depends. If you want this to keep clean, this comparison is true. If you crank this up and you want distortion and it start distorting, the volume is increasing more and more. So you're not distorting it and keeping 100 watts. It's becoming more strong when we're pushing it. So if you play it for distorted sounds, it can become really loud. Honestly, I fear that. Why I'm suggesting, you can say, but you are suggesting this one for home use. Yes, because of the sound it can produce. This one also has a great advantage. It has a switch that can make it work at 1 watt. And believe me, even at 1 watt in my bedroom, it is very strong. At 15 watts, if I crank it at the top, I'm gonna make Windows explode, and that's not my target, honestly speaking. But it sounds to me feel really hot, really warm around it. I like it a lot. That's why even if the new XMG30 has a lot of amplifiers and cab simulators, I prefer to connect it with the four cables method and use the real thing for the distortion and for the preamplification and even for the power section, because the feeling is different. But you can hear it only if you are in a studio, in a recording studio in your home, because you need to have silence around you. Otherwise, it's difficult to hear these nuances. That's why I'm not suggesting this for a real gig, because it can work. I can work for sure, but personally, you can appreciate it better if you are using it at home. Also, you may say, why are you not using that guitar, the PRS, for the gig, and you are suggesting the Harley Benton? Because if I break the Harley Benton, I don't feel bad as I'm breaking if I'm breaking the PRS. The PRS I'm suggesting you it was the PRS C Custom 24. This because I prepared this picture some time ago. Now there are some great alternatives, because if you purchase the PRS SECE, so the version with the bolt-on neck instead of glued neck, they are working. They are very good. They are very interesting and much less expensive, because their street price is below 600 euros, and they are, in my opinion, they are a great bang for the bucks. I would go with that. If they were available when I purchased mine, probably I would have bought this one. Okay, I paid this one less because I purchased used. You see that I purchased a lot of things second hand because in this field in our many people like to change their gear to try something different. So it's easy to find something at a good price. But you see that I always showed you the comparison between the street price if you want everything brand new and this combination. I placed myself the target not to go over 1,500 euros, and you see that we are well below that price, and there are opportunities to spend even less. So I hope these suggestions were helpful to you. Of course, everything again, I'm repeating, these are my opinion. These are gears I own. You have seen them in the channel. I didn't show you in the pictures the neither the Tube 15 or the Boss Katana, but you have seen in other videos in my channel. I still have them. They are below my desk, but it's difficult for me to take a recording of also of those devices, but I still have them and I'm not gonna sell them if I can tell you. I'm suggesting use for the targets I've showed you. I'm not a professional. I'm not giving suggestion if you are a professional. Maybe there are a lot of better suited guitars, modelers, amplifiers out there that I'm telling you, please go there if you want something more. If you want to go totally digital, this is not the case, not what I'm going to show here. If you're interested, I can extend this format to include that one, but that's not currently my target. In any case, I think that this can give you a little guide about something that, in my opinion, can work well together. Because we are always focusing on the guitar or the single amplifier. It's good to have a design, to have a project, and to decide what we want to a specific target and what we purchase without spending our money in or wasting our money too easily. Okay, we are coming back with some news, some new videos in the near future. You have seen that I showed you the M-Wave chocolate. This is the plus version. You see, that includes the USB host functionality. You have seen an unboxing of this one. So stay tuned because I'm coming up with some testing with this one to control directly the NUX devices without the need of your smartphone as a connector and other things that I'm experimenting with. So please just be patient. You know that I prefer to make a video when I have something clear, ready, and straightforward I can show you so that you can repeat everything step by step. And sometimes I'm failing because I'm testing it, testing the devices right away, and I'm not always obtaining what I'm expecting. When I'm reaching a result I think it can be helpful, I'm sharing it with you immediately. So stay tuned. Please evaluate subscribing to the channel. You know that is a great help because it pushes me forward. I know that you're interested in what I do. Thank you for the lot of compliments I received in these weeks. I see it makes me feel good. You know, I'm doing this in my spare time, so nobody's paying me for this activity. So when I'm doing it, is because I feel good with that. And if I receive a feedback and tells me that I'm helping somebody, I really appreciate it, and that's what is making me do it every day. So thank you again for watching. See you with next video. Bye bye. A small bonus. You may have noticed that I had in the reply in the my video also this one, and I didn't speak about it. Why? Because this can be a good suggestion for a replacement as an alternative to the NUX Mighty Air or NUX Mighty Light Bluetooth I suggested in the beginners combination. But I've showed you in the video an unboxing of this one. This is the Steve Vai version, but I'm just referring to the Positive Grid Spark Mini. That is this one. I decided not to include it officially in the list because I still testing it. I didn't test it so extensively to suggested it as a real alternative to the other. And currently, I don't have the possibility to make it work with the pedal board. Instead, NUX devices are working with the with Enwave chocolate, and I think that it can be good for a new player, for a new buy, also to try and use to have the sensation of changing effects with the pedal board. So thank you again. See you next time.